Today's efforts in having this forum were really dedicated to trying to bring more awareness to Title IX and all of its implications for students, not just student athletes, but graduate students of all types and undergraduate students of all types. We all have different experiences, especially women that have been shaped through the Title IX policy.
Hello everyone, my name is Kayla Smith and I grew up just down the road in Orange County. I played sports throughout my younger years. I attended an elementary school that was a magnet school for math, science, and technology, and I enjoyed the opportunities that were given to me that both boys and girls were able to have. Athletically and academically, Title IX has established a foundation for where I am today. As a junior in high school, I decided to go out for the track and field team. No, I didn't want to run. I was more interested in the throwing events. My mom had always told me that she thought I would be good at them. I was strong, I had long limbs, and I was quite coordinated. So I walked out onto the track one afternoon and never thought about what I was doing. Little did I know that Title IX was the foundation and track and field was the avenue that would create a path of the journey that I call life. So many times the throwing events are seen as male-dominated and focused on brute strength. Before joining the team, I remember talking to my mom and saying that all the boys do the throwing events. Why would I do it? Why did she think I would be good at that? And she said, well, show them that you can do it too. So that I did. The boys and I, along with my female friend who I dragged along with me out into the track and field team, would hit the weight room a couple times each week. It was my little secret mission to not only keep up, but be impressive. I wanted to be the best I could at this event, regardless of what it was. So with positive confirmation from my mom and my coach, I was able to embrace throwing and treat it more as a craft, more as an art, as opposed to this boys-only, male-dominated, muscle-power event. In high school, I had a dedicated coach, a female at that, and an overall successful first season. From the day of my last competition during my junior year throughout my senior year of high school, I was recruited to compete at the university level. I was never questioned, or it was never questioned whether I, a female, was capable of doing something such as throwing. During my senior year of high school, I chose to attend UCSB and compete for the track and field team here. The opportunity to represent UCSB in athletic competition was one that I never took for granted. I also realized that it was a magnificent opportunity to attend a well-known research university and earn a degree. Gender roles were being broken down every single time that I put on the uniform and stepped into the ring to throw. I traveled near and far learning valuable skills and character traits. I learned that discipline is going to bed at a reasonable hour because I had practice in the morning. I learned that teamwork is being happy for my teammates' success, even if it meant beating me in an event we were both competing in. I learned that success and failure are a part of life, but appreciating them both takes true character. The quality of training and competition that I had was amazing. I practiced every day alongside my male teammates. We lifted in the same weight room, had the same treatment in our athletic training facility, and we're given the same academic resources each year. To think that 40 years ago, UCSB didn't have a women's track and field team, but yet here I am today, an educated person that has had the opportunity to compete at the highest level of collegiate competition is awe-inspiring. Now, switching gears to my current status as a graduate student, from recent conversations I've had with longtime faculty, they tell me that in the 1970s, it wasn't really a thing for women to go on and pursue graduate schooling or education. So now, 40 years later, I had staff and faculty not only suggest and advise, but beg me and support me to apply. So it was just the motivation I needed. After a year out of school, I'm back in and loving the process of learning all over again. Without track and field, who knows where I would be today? I created an avenue for education on my lifelong journey that I mentioned before. I'm thankful for those who came before me. I'm thankful for those men and women who motivated students in the 70s, 80s, 90s, and even before then to attend graduate school. For it is them who I owe my gratitude towards making it normal that I would not only pursue higher education, but also be a student athlete at the same time. My success in the classroom and in athletics is large in part due to Title IX. Without the opportunity to compete many life lessons wouldn't have been learned and some challenges wouldn't have been faced. So there's a lot of work to be done. The story isn't all flowers and roses, but let's keep the discussion alive on how to prevent sexual discrimination in all aspects of education. For me, it came with an aspect of athletics, and that was my avenue to education. But a great start is that we're here, we're recognizing Title IX and the principle of fairness that it has established, because after all, who wouldn't want that?
Wow. So when I first was asked to do this panel on Title IX, I thought, women in sports, that's what I know about Title IX. And so I had the opportunity to reflect on how Title IX has impacted my life as a woman. And I thought about all the women before that have fought for programs like Title IX to be in place. I think it's a little bit like the air we breathe. I think we've taken Title IX for granted, and especially for my generation of women. I have been directly affected by Title IX throughout my graduate studies at UC Berkeley, San Francisco State, and then finally here at UC Santa Barbara. I have had the freedom and opportunity to choose my research, to choose what I want to research, who I want to study, and I thank Title IX for paving that way and that road for me. Secondly, as a mother, I was protected when I decided to have a child 2 years before I finished graduate school, before my doctoral program ended. And so I took the Family Medical Leave Act, which allowed me 1 quarter, where I was not penalized for being pregnant. I did not lose my standing in the Graduate School of Education. I was able to make up a quarter that I missed while being pregnant and giving birth. And I was able to finish in normative time because of Title IX. And you know, I think about comments that people would make, and especially men and women that have been in this profession in academia for many, many years, that say, how can you balance a career in academia and parenthood, motherhood? How can you do it? It's one or the other. And so it really felt like, okay, I can do this. Indirectly, you know, there were resources on UCSB campus, and I believe it's the social awareness that said, hey, you know, women can be scholars and parents. And so there's affordable childcare as a parent, where my son is at right now, right across the way, which gave me a peace of mind, which allowed me to write my dissertation, knowing that he was taken care of, that he was close by, and that my family could afford that child care. In addition, there were resources on campus. I was able to get a breast pump, which sounds silly, but it really was important for me at the time. And I got a key to different rooms on campus where I can go nurse my baby or pump if I needed to. So that type of support was very instrumental. However, I argue that, you know, Title IX is still very critical to look at today. We know that women make 77 cents to every dollar a man makes. Still, this is today. And I think about this, of course, for my 2.5-year-old son, but also for my 11.5-year-old twin daughters that I'm raising. I think about their future. I think about, personally, my future as a soon-to-be tenure track professor somewhere. I think about what that means in terms of gender equity in the workplace, in publishing, and pay. And so, again, I argue that, you know, the work is not done.